Hi, this is Ujjwal and welcome to another start to finish video on my YouTube channel. Today we will be creating this super adorable unicorn card and I'm using this stamp set called I have forgotten the name of the stamp set. Alright, Stay Magical, I think. Yes. So this one is called Stay Magical and it's a new release and I will be creating using a few elements from this particular stamp set. So I'm just kind of stamping them out onto white paper. I do not have a plan yet, so I will be making up the plan as I progress into the work. So I'm just stamping out a few of the unicorns just to see what I want to use today. And this particular card is also the part of a blog hub that we are having over at Mudra because it is their first birthday and I am so excited because I have been associated with them right from the beginning, so it is a very special thing for me. And yeah, I hope you hop along and there are some fabulous projects all along and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. So now I'm just coloring the image with some regular Faber-Castell markers. A lot of people ask me what I use for coloring, and I use these a lot, especially for images that have smaller area because these won't blend as much. So they are like very basic school supply markers, but they are really good. They have vibrant colors and the colors don't fade. So I just went ahead and colored in the rainbow and that one particular unicorn that I decided to use in today's card. And then I went ahead and cut them out, and now we are going to work on the background. So for the background I kind of decided I wanted a night sky, so I wanted to use a few different stars in the background, a different variety of stars, open and then solid stars and then different sizes. So I picked out a few different Mudra stamp sets. This one is Let's Party, the other one is the Basic Planner stamp set, and I'm going to use these stars from all these different stamp sets and white heat emboss them onto some white cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and continue stamping. I'll stamp all the stars and then I'm going to uh, put some white embossing powder on top and heat set it. Before I did this, I also went ahead and used my powder tool, and that just makes sure that the embossing powder sticks to the places where the ink is and not on the static that the paper might have. So that really helps because then you have embossing powder only on the areas that you want it to be on. So I'm using some scratch piece of paper here to catch the excess embossing powder, and the embossing powder I'm using is Ranger's Superfine White Embossing Powder, and you'll see in a minute the stars will pop up and you will be able to actually see where I stamped. So now the next step is to just heat set it, and I'm using my Ranger's heat gun. I'll just quickly go over it and heat set it. Now I wanted the moon and the sentiment to be in a different color, in yellow color, so that they stand out a little bit. So I'm going to stamp the moon first and then the sentiment, and then I'm going to use the American Crafts Zing embossing powder. The color is butter. This is one of my favorite colors. It's a very nice pastel kind of a yellow color and it looks really awesome. So I'm just going to use it and heat emboss the moon as well as the sentiment here. And once I've done that, I am going to use some distress inks. I'm using Hickory Smoke Distress Ink first, and I'm using the Papericious blending tool here, and I'm going to just go over and cover the entire panel with Hickory Smoke, and you can see that I'm not doing a lot of blending. I'm just basically just covering in the sheet with the Hickory Smoke Distress Ink using circular motions with my blending tool. And I really love this color. It's not really, it's like somewhere between the black and the brown, and it's really pretty. And then I thought I'd wanted it a little bit more darker, so I'm using the Black Suit Distress ink and going over the edges in circular motions and then blending the inks together. So I'm blending the Hickory Smoke and Black Suit together to make it like more nighty and more darker. And now you can see how the stars and the moon and everything that we embossed has popped up onto our entire panel. So now that I have that, I'm going to adhere everything down place everything down and adhere it using foam tape and regular adhesives. I'm just figuring out the placement on the card as to how I want it. And then I decided the place looked a little bit empty and I wanted one more cloud. So I went ahead and stamped, colored and fuzzy cut another cloud from the Stay Magical stamp set. And now I'm adhering the unicorn with some foam tape, and then I'm going to adhere the clouds with some foam tape and the entire panel again with foam tape onto the card base. And then I felt that the moon was kind of not popping out as much as I wanted it to, so I'm using some Ranger's enamel accent and filling it in. I have this in yellow and I'm just filling it in the moon, and now the moon looks pretty. Same for the sentiment. The sentiment was kind of looking very pale with the entire card, so I decided to heat emboss it again onto some black cardstock, and with the same embossing powder, the butter embossing powder that I used before. And now you'll see that it looks so much better and it really pops out and makes the card complete. And then I just went ahead and stick it, and there you go. That was such a simple and lovely card to make, and I absolutely love the end result. So if you haven't started yet, you might want to go to the Mudra blog first and check out the entire blog hop list, hop along and win some prizes. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.